All right, welcome back. Thank you for staying with Africa Speaks. Now, Africa's development has been largely dependent on donations by private organizations and individuals. Now, philanthropy has been a major COG in the development and enhancement of systems in the region. Now, according to the Foresight Africa Report 2022, there has been an increase in the private donors giving, with African countries witnessing rapid advancements of new tools and vehicles for giving, such as impact investment, collective giving, and pooled funds. In studio, I'm now joined by two ladies from East Africa Philanthropy Network to help us understand the ecosystem of giving for development's sake. They are Grace Maingi from Kenya Community Development Foundation and Dr. Caroline Waweru from Gertrude's Children's Hospital Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's just get into this. First of all, Grace, what is philanthropy? When you talk about philanthropy, what are we talking about?
Simply put, philanthropy is when you give for a good cause. You can give money, you can give time, and all that put together towards going towards a good cause, addressing issues around poverty, giving to address issues around education, access to education. That's what philanthropy is in a nutshell.
All right, Carol, so let's just look at the role of philanthropy, the way she has really explained it, in harnessing corporate resources towards development of the nation and sustainable development goals.
Okay, thank you. Well, corporates don't only now look at profits. I know that has been the main thing in for the past couple of years, but now corporates are looking at people, profits as well, and planet. So they're actually giving towards various causes that are, important to them, because it helps them connect better with their clients. Clients, have a brand loyalty to them, and also it helps with their sustainability, because when corporates, invest into people and also invest in climate as well and our environment, then it helps them sustain where they're actually conducting business. Yeah.
And so, Grace, how do we get now the community to get involved in this?
There's so many ways the community can be involved in giving. We have a program whereby we match the funds that are raised by the communities. So for instance, if they're in an area where the school is dilapidated and the community feels they would want to restore the school, we are able to partner with them. They would be able to assess the cost of being able to restore the school. Let's say, for instance, they would say, we need 1 million to restore this classroom. We work with the community members to be able to raise the resources locally. So they can raise the resources by holding a fundraising. They can even give their time. Let's say, for instance, in the community, you find that there is a stone masonry. There's someone who has some skills in being able to assist in the roofing. We cost all of that. When they're able to say, we've raised half of that, as KCDF, we're able to come in and match those funds. So together, the community is able to address their challenges. Really, that's how communities come in, also to address issues around their own sustainability, but also to enhance philanthropy.
And now, the role of philanthropy towards sustainable development goals in the country. Carol, explain this to us, because you see, philanthropy, many people usually hear of the word, but now how do we get to involve everyone in this, like especially for the sustainable development goals of the country?
So I'll speak about mainly corporates are developing their strategy to align with the sustainable development goals. So you'll find, let's say, like for Gertrude's Hospital Foundation, then our main focus will be on SDG 3, on good health and well-being, and also we focus on partnerships as well, number 17. So you'll find that by aligning to the SDGs, we'll be able to, give money and also in-kind contributions towards causes that relate to what our strategy aligns with. So you'll find that for corporates, it's the fact that they're able to align their strategy towards the SDGs, then they're able to invest more into actually giving towards communities. You'll find, if I could give an example with Gertrude's, so we are based in Nairobi, yes, but because we are mainly in healthcare, we don't focus only on projects in Nairobi. We actually invest in providing healthcare throughout the country, and we have presence in different countries, counties as well, within the country.
All right.
Yeah.
So speaking of counties,
yes,
what are you doing in order to make sure that at least this move now goes towards every county in Kenya?
Yeah, I know, it's we normally take baby steps. We have 47 counties. So what happens is you've seen in the news, county governments are plagued with challenges of delayed funding, also insufficient funding for the various services they need to give to their constituents. So corporates actually, approach county governments and they work together. It's all about partnerships. So if a county was supposed to finish a certain project, then corporate organizations are able to come in and provide monetary contributions. There's also skills. If I could give an example where there's I know of a corporate that actually built the capacity of the county assembly to pass laws. Let's say like on dealing with community health workers, on healthcare, universal healthcare as well. So they're able to, improve the services that the county is giving, and also plug into the budget deficits that county governments have. Yes.
Very insightful. So Grace, now let's come back to the community and look at how to make this sustainable in the community. Because such moves, sometimes it happens once when there's a lot of campaign, maybe for 1 month, and then it dies off. So what makes this sustainable now in the community for a longer time?
Being able to show the impact of the work that we're doing, and even the work that the community can do, actually helps in the sustainability. Being able to inculcate that culture of philanthropy. Simply put, giving. How can they give to alleviate poverty? How can they give to address the challenges that they're facing? But also, how can they undertake asset building? So in terms of asset building, for instance, they'll go into profit-making businesses at the community level. That generates income, not only for maybe the organization, but also for the individuals in the community. By them being able to see the products of the asset building, the products of their philanthropy work, then it becomes more sustainable. It's not a KCDF project, but it's actually their own project. They see and have more ownership when we walk and work together with them. So that's how we focus on building the sustainability.
All right. So now let's go back to what you were talking about, involving corporates in this program. Now, what are some of the challenges that you encounter, and how do you solve them? Because going to a corporate and telling them this is what we would like you to help us with, not everyone will say, okay, that's fine. So what do you usually do? What are some of the challenges that you get, and how do you solve them?
Okay, I could highlight, that I would call them the top 3. So one is, you can imagine, like this year, 2022, the economy is not very favorable.
Yes.
A lot of people are tightening their belts, and they've reduced, expenditure. So one is reduced funding. So you'll find corporates, delaying giving, monies and postponing things to much later. Yet we know the need in the community is now. So one thing that we've tried to do is have closer engagement with corporates, and to be able to stagger the budget. So instead of them giving 100% donation at once, then they could start with 40%, and then thereafter move to 80%, and later on 100%. And so that's one thing in terms of delayed funding for community projects. The second bit is we've faced a situation where the corporate organizations want to do everything by themselves. So I know there's a lot of corporates are setting up their own foundations, which is a very good thing. However, they may enter into projects that they do not understand fully, and eventually the project does not take off the way it's supposed to. And it's not that the project was bad, but it was just that there was not enough information, and maybe not very good decisions were made. An example I can allude to is there was a foundation that wanted to equip hospitals with certain machines. However, they went and procured the machines, but the machines were incomplete. So when they went and delivered to the various hospitals in the rural areas, then they were told, no, actually, you've only delivered 50%. So we need the other 50%. So that means they needed to double their budget, and that was not available. However, if they were able to work with people on the ground, then they would actually get to know that, this equipment is not complete, and this is how to go about it. Yeah, and then the other thing with corporates is, the drive for recognition and visibility. At times, it overshadows what the community really wants. So a corporate, yes, may want to go in, and they have a certain mindset, but the need may not be exactly what the community requires on the ground. And because they feel that what they believe in and will give them a lot of mileage in terms of visibility and marketing, then the community feels a bit shortchanged, because yes, there's a project, but it doesn't necessarily meet the priority needs. Yes, so it's something that as corporate organizations we need to align very well with community needs. Yes. And
on that point of aligning yourself with the community needs, now when we come to the community, awareness, how do we maintain the awareness? Because in the city, you can say people are aware, there's Twitter, there's social media.
Yes.
Now, when you go to different counties, that person in the rural area, how do we make them aware of this?
It's very important to work with the local organizations. So what you'll find, we are very privileged in Kenya to have a very vibrant civil society movement. So there are different organizations at the community level that are able to pass this information.
Yes.
You have a lot of community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, even self-help groups. So being able to give them the information they need in terms of what's out there, what's possible, is one of the things that we do. But also through partnership, being able to also work with county governments that are also then at the local level, being able to reach a widespread of the individuals at the community level. So we've had a lot of successful partnerships whereby we have a local community-based organization that's working, for instance, on environment issues, working very closely with the county government, working very closely with officers even from NEMA at the county level, so that then even as they undertake the awareness, the outreach, that passes from household to household. Yes.
All right, so let's move to now, what are some of the trends that are emerging or that are spurring the national development through voices of the players in the ecosystem of philanthropy?
Okay, I would say, first of all, we are in a very exciting space where corporate giving has been on the rise. Actually, I would say both corporate and individual giving. I think, our nation was founded on the spirit of Harambee. So it's in our DNA. We always want to help. We always get a message for, let's help so and so. There's this committee. And so both on an individual capacity as well as at corporate level, there's good investments being made towards projects in communities. And through this space, then we are able to do more. So I think some of the things that we are working on now as a sector is putting together our data, because we can say, yes, we are giving a lot towards the, you know, the communities, but, you know, what is the money doing? How many people are we impacting through our efforts? And what, you know, but generally what impact are we putting down, so that we can even go to government and tell them, you know, this is our contribution to the economy, this is our contribution to services in the country. So one is gathering of data, and this at least we are able to come together as an association, as East Africa Philanthropy Network. We are putting our data together. We have annual surveys where we are able to just contribute what all of us are doing. Then also the second bit is on regulation. We would like, you know, right now things are a bit murky. We have different legislature that affects different organizations, and, you know, through proper legislation, then it builds trust, because we want Kenyans to know that if they give money to a certain organization, then they know their money will be put to good use. So that's something in this space that we would like to, we are working on, you know, just improving the legislature, just making sure everything is clear, and we are working within the law, so that at least it will actually propel our work further. And through this, it will even make the industry grow even more.
All right. Now, you've spoken about the impact. So, Grace, what can an individual do? Because we want to now wrap up. What can an individual do to make sure that they are involved in this, and then we'll come to you?
There are many already ongoing campaigns that are looking to raise resources to be able to alleviate different challenges that are there. So as an individual, people can give. The good thing about Kenya and even the philanthropy space is there's a lot of organized giving now, where people are able to contribute from the comfort of their home through mobile money platforms. They're able to put money towards causes that touch their hearts. We're running a campaign right now that's raising resources for dignity kits for young girls and women in Western Kenya. Someone can easily contribute to that. We have causes we're running around food, looking at issues around food and food packs for families that are undergoing starvation. So there are those aspects that individuals can do in terms of giving, getting involved in terms of giving their time, volunteering for the number of foundations that we have in the country, also just volunteering within their community spaces. So all of us are part of a different community, whether it's a resident association, whether it's a PTA. So how are we engaging as individuals? That's how people can actually give and get more involved in growing philanthropy in Kenya.
Okay, now as we finish, your last sentiments.
Okay, just to add on about individual giving, because I know there are people watching and wondering, how can I plug in? There are events that raise money towards different causes. You know, people should go out there and participate. You know, at least they'll be giving their time as well as their money. And then the second thing is to, wherever people are working, they can, you know, urge their employers, their corporate organizations to give towards causes that they feel passionate about. They should be involved. In that as well.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. We are glad that you were able to join us for this discussion. All right, there you have it. We've been speaking to Grace Maingi and Caroline Waweru.